I think my biggest fear is like smelling bad. Not when I'm by myself, but like I put on excessive amounts of perfume just so like I'm that person that when you walk by them in the store you're just like you know. I've always thought about like why don't I just wear like men's cologne, because I love the smell of it so much more than female perfume. But I asked some people what they thought I should make a video on, and one of my sweet friends who currently lives in New York, Anna, I miss the shit out of her. She came up with this idea where I basically just like give I think it was book, movie, music, TV show recommendations, I guess. And because my entire life consists of those 4 things, I thought that I could just make a long ass video. So I have a bunch of books and things that are surrounding me right now. I have my bullet journal with all of my stuff in here that I want to talk about, and it's a lot, so hold your horses, grab a cup of tea and some popcorn because you're gonna need it. This is an entirely opinionative video, so if you don't want to hear my opinion on anything, then I suggest you click out, because I mean, I don't know why you'd want to click out. My opinion's really fucking great, but I was so narcissistic of me. I apologize. I'm really ashamed of that. I suppose we can start with books. I am a Potterhead. I dig all things Harry Potter, so I 10 out of 10 recommend the entire series of Harry Potter. Actually 9 3/4 out of 10. If you know what I mean. Oh, that was a really good one. Okay, so Harry Potter, all of them. Then another book would be The Cellar by Natasha Preston. This one is essentially about this girl that gets kidnapped by this man who always has 4 girls that live in his basement, and they're his 4 flowers, and he decided that his old flower that was named Lily was being disrespectful, so he got rid of her and met this new girl, and this new girl was going to be his new Lily. This entire story follows her being kidnapped, living in there, and adapting to being his flower, so to speak, so that she could survive, and the aftermath. This next one is actually my friend Soph the Star. This is her book that she let me borrow before she went back to college, and it's a children's book technically. It's called The 68 Rooms, and it is so good. I don't know if you guys know what the Thorn Rooms are in Chicago, but it is basically these 2 kids, I can't remember their age, and they're best friends, and they go to the Thorn Rooms on a field trip, and they keep going back and discovering all these secrets, and then something happens in the middle-ish, and then I don't want to spoil it, but it's so good. I don't care if it's considered a book for kids. I am still a kid. And this next one is called The Alchemist by I think it's pronounced Paulo Coelho. That's how I pronounce it. The Alchemist is more of a spiritual journey type of book. It's beautiful, by the way. It's a small one, but it's one of those that you want to kind of underline the different things and make note of, because it's definitely helped me on my spiritual journey and understanding myself. It's a very coming of age book, so if you already know who you are, I don't know if you'll enjoy it. I had a friend that I worked with at Barnes & Noble who he told me that he didn't really like it very much because he didn't really need the spiritual revelations that I think it was supposed to give the reader. This next one is by John Green. My best friend Lauren bought this for me. She got it for my birthday like last year. I didn't get around to reading it until January of this year, 2019, which is a long ways away since my birthday is in April. And it's called Turtles All the Way Down, and it is so good. I was originally hesitant in highlighting or writing in it because it's a hardcover book and that's more expensive, but I was like, it was a gift, I can do what I want with it. And I just could not, because there's so many good things that I didn't want to forget. like all throughout, things that just like really get you thinking. And I love a book that's like that. It's very thought-provoking and I really recommend it. Another one, this is the last adult-ish book that I have to show, by Tomi Adeyemi. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but it's Children of Blood and Bone. That's what it looks like. And my god, this is one heck of a book. It's one of those books where it's like the chapter is in the perspective of one character and then it moves to a different perspective. And I think it's Zaylee's perspective, then it is Amari's perspective. Amari is the princess of the town that they live in, and then Amari's brother, I think his name is Enon. Yeah, Enon. And Zaylee she lives in the slums, and basically all these people meet, and there's romance, there's adventure, there's death, there's all that you can imagine in it. And then I wanted to talk about like some books that I would read when I was little, like things that my parents would read to me. I know this is kind of like different from the usual, but they're things that have always, like, these are some of the books that I was read to as a kid that I think shaped who I am now. And I think they're important books, in my opinion. I don't think they're any lesser because they're tiny little kid books, but, you know. Another really great one that I think is it's just so beautiful. My dad would read this one to me. It's called Frederick. And as you can tell, me, my brother, and my sister really did some damage with this one. That's like, whatever, like shipping tape. Yep, that's what the binding is now. And the art in this one is so pretty too. Like, it's really beautiful. And it's about these mice getting ready for the winter time and how to stock up, but then there's this one mouse, Frederick, and he doesn't help in any way to prepare them for the winter. He doesn't help collect food or things to build their shelter or anything. He just sits and meditates. And when winter reaches its peak, and their food starts running out and they have nothing to do and they're getting bored, they ask Frederick what he collected to help out. He basically collects these poems in his mind to help them feel the sunlight that they're missing now from the summer. So he would meditate and absorb the sunlight, and so he explained it to them to keep them warm, and he memorized different colors so he could describe it to them so they remembered that there is more to the gray of the snow, and he remembered the smell of the grass and the taste of, you know, nuts and seeds, and he basically just made the experience better for them, and it's just a really beautiful story. And then this final one is near and dear to my heart. My mom would read this to me to put me to sleep, and yeah, this one's just really, 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 really special to me. It's called When Mama Comes Home Tonight by Eileen Spinelli. It looks like that, and the artwork is beautiful too. This is like the only book that I have from my childhood that isn't completely destroyed. And this one just has a variety of drawings of this little girl with curly blonde hair like I did, and her mother with the curly blonde hair as well. And it's just this sweet little story, and it talks about what the mother and daughter do together. I can give you a sample. When Mama comes home from work, dear child, when Mama comes home tonight, she'll cover you with kisses, she'll hug you sweet and tight. She'll feed you soup and applesauce, she'll dance you down the hall. She'll play a game of pat-a-cake, she'll wrap you in her shawl. She'll hold you at the window, she'll help you count the cars. She'll make 3 wishes in your name and tell them to the stars. When Mama comes home from work, dear child, when Mama comes home tonight, she'll say, let's put your blocks away, the red, the green, the white. And then it just keeps going. I literally just read half the story to you. I just love it so much. I'm sorry. I'm a huge with books. I love them. I wish I could read them more, but unfortunately I waste my time away on various platforms of media. And then quickly, some artists that I really like are, I'd say that my top 2 favorite visual artists would be Vincent van Gogh and Claude Monet. Claude Monet is a French impressionist, and honestly I think that I really just like him because my dad got me a book of most of the work that he created, and as a little girl I cherished it a lot, and so I kind of have this special place in my heart. I really appreciate the work he's done, and it's really interesting because most of his work is rather abstract, but I don't think that was entirely on purpose because he started to go blind in the latter half of his life. It's funny because in this book it looks like this. I used to hide this book because there was one picture that Monet painted, and it's this one. And at first I liked this, I really did. But then my dad told me that it was a painting of his wife on his deathbed, and so then I decided that this book was probably haunted, and so I wouldn't look at it for a solid 2 years because I was just afraid that I was going to be possessed by Claude Monet's dead wife. I always liked the paintings of his cathedral. I think that this one was my favorite of the cathedral. Or no, that one isn't the cathedral. Where the shit is it? Je suis très confus. Oh, here it is. Wait, no, this is the same thing. I could have sworn it was called the cathedral. He's the artist that created Water Lilies. He did this one, which is a very famous painting. But pretty much what he would do is he would paint different landscapes at different times of day. For some reason I can't find the variations of the cathedral in this book, but there's one that was at sunset, one in the winter, one at dusk, one at dawn, and things like that. My other favorite artist is Vincent van Gogh. In my favorite Doctor Who episode, Amy Pond and the Doctor was Matt Smith, the actor at this point. They traveled to France, I can't remember what year, and meet Vincent van Gogh and essentially try to save him from committing suicide, and it's his entire story, and I grew to really appreciate him as an artist. I think that his story is heartbreaking. Whenever I look at any piece of his work, I just remember, it reminds me of that episode and how special of a person he was. I think he was too beautiful for this world, which is why he left. I specifically remember the sunflower painting that he did, which was in the Doctor Who episode, and though the Doctor and Amy couldn't prevent him from committing suicide, they did impact him in that he included little parts of their personalities in some of his most famous paintings. For example, when they went back to the future, or back to the present, they looked at the sunflower painting, and I believe it said "to Amy" on it, inscribed like at the base area. Instead of having Vincent right here, he wrote "to Amy" in the episode, and so I'm considering possibly getting an outline tattoo of this in black on my inner forearm. So yeah, those are visual artists that I really like. And then as far as music, so I love singing, I love performing, and I love acting, and I just love music in general. So as far as specific songs that I love, there's Vincent by Don Mclean, which is about Vincent van Gogh. That one is very important to me based off of how I feel about Vincent van Gogh and his impact he left. on earth. Vienna by Billy Joel, Piano Man by Billy Joel, The Sound of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel, and then also by them Scarborough Fair / Canticle and Mrs. Robinson. Movement by Hozier, Verity Cries by 10,000 Maniacs. That song my dad would sing me to sleep with pretty much every single night of my young life, so that one is very special to me. Turning Out by AJR. That's a newer one. It's not very special to me, but I really enjoy it. Different Love by J Squared. This one is important to me. It's very new, but it has the track of this really sad scene in the film, the Pixar film Up, playing on repeat in the background, and it really touches my heart. And then Lavish by Lucas Lex. And then artists, musical people that I really like. The Beatles, all the artists above, everything that they make besides those specific ones. Adam Barnes, Alec Benjamin, Alex the Great, Amine, Ariana Grande, Aries, Billie Eilish, Black Bear, Boy Pablo, Brockhampton, Bruno Major, Cage the Elephant, The Cardboard Swords, Cave Town, Chance the Rapper, Clairo, Conan Gray, David Bowie, Queen, Dodie, Ella May, No Name, Kanye West, Florist, George Ezra, Grapetooth, Haim, Hey Violet, Hobo Johnson, Ingrid Michaelson, Lana Del Rey, Joji, John Bellion, The Jonas Brothers. 5 Seconds of Summer is an oldie but a goodie. Just saying. Castro, Kevin Abstract, Kishore, Kendrick Lamar, Khalid, Codaline, I don't know how to say that, Mac Miller, Like Lee, Melanie Martinez. I know that she has sexual assault charges and all of that, but I still appreciate her music. Metopony, Muse, Panic at the Disco, 21 Pilots, Nako and the Medicine for People, REM, Coldplay, U2, Rex Orange County, Role Model, Roy Blair, Young the Giant, Wet, Savage Gasp, Tessa Violet, Trevor Hall, and Tydo Gray. Movies / shows that I like. I'll start with movies and then I'll go to shows. So as far as movies go, all of the Harry Potter series, every single one of them I love equally. There's no way that's that. Sing Street, which was introduced to me by my sweet little Emma, which is one of my bestest friends in the entire world. Love Rosie, which features Lily Collins. The Shining, Us, which was recently directed by Jordan Peele. Coraline, My Life as a Zucchini, which is originally a French film. Lord of the Rings, all of them. The Hobbit, all of them, but the edited one. There was a fan edit that was made, and my dad or brother burned it onto a DVD, and that's the one we watch. I'm not a fan of the original ones because there's a lot of added things that I haven't read the book, but are apparently not in the book. All the Twilight movies, I don't give a shit what anyone says. They entertain me, so you guys can all suck my dick if you disagree. The Book of Life, Coco, Lilo and Stitch, Beauty and the Beast, both live action with Emma Watson and the older animated version. The Breakfast Club, Empire Records, which is on Netflix right now. The Autopsy of Jane Doe, which is also on Netflix right now. Swiss Army Man, which is also on Netflix right now. Pretty much all of the shitty Cinderella movies, like with Selena Gomez. So all of the Cinderella movies and the animated one. And then the Fantastic Beasts movies. I prefer the first one to the second one just because while it was well made and everything, Crimes of Grindelwald was, in my opinion, very hard to follow, which is saying a lot considering I know pretty much everything there is to know about the Potter world. So, and then for shows, I'm currently trying to finish Pretty Little Liars. I know I'm really late I'm a late starter with this one. It's making me feel very much like a detective. Speaking of detectives, also Sherlock Holmes with Benedict Cumberbatch is so good. Everything about it. He is an incredible actor. So is, what's his name? The guy that plays Bilbo Baggins in The Hobbit. I can't remember his name for the life of me, but he's an excellent actor as well. Big Mouth, Cosmos, which is the remake that Neil deGrasse Tyson did. Riverdale, which I haven't finished. Disjointed, Mako Mermaids, oh my god. My Babysitter's a Vampire, An Oldie But a Goodie. Ouran High School Host Club, which me and my friend Ashley would watch all the time. It is an anime, and it's hilarious and makes you super uncomfortable, but it is so good. House of Anubis, oh my god, if anyone can find any of the episodes of House of Anubis, I will literally sell my soul to you. That was the show of the century, and that's all. Friends, which is a classic. Avatar: The Last Airbender. If you don't watch it, we can no longer be associated with one another. Black Mirror. I really like the episode where it's like, I can't remember exactly what it's called. It has something to do with an African museum though. It's a really, really intense episode. Also, Bandersnatch is a great one. All of them are really great. Yeah. Oh my god, I need to take a breath. I'm gonna insert a clip of me singing the song Movement by Hozier. I love that song so much. And Hozier, however the fuck you pronounce his name, is an angel sent from heaven. Not saying I believe in heaven, because I don't know if I do, because I'm agnostic. But I'm gonna insert a clip of that. I'm not sure how I feel about it. How I feel about my sound in it. But why not? Eventually, if anyone ever sees these videos, they're gonna ask to hear me sing. So I thought I may as well just embarrass myself now rather than later. I eat these like I use crack pretty much every second. Okay, here is the video of me singing. When you move, I can recall something that's gone from me. When you move, honey, I'm putting off something so flawed and free. So move me, baby, shake like a bough of a willow tree. You do it naturally. Move me, baby. So move me, baby, like you got nothing left to prove and nothing to lose. Move me, baby. Do what you will with it. I don't even know what I'll do with it. I'm still not sure if I should post anything about this on my main Instagram, because I don't know how it'll be read by people. Maybe I'll just fuck around and go for it. I'm good at fucking around. Not in the sexual sense, in the sense that I decide to randomly screw shit up or try things and see how it turns out, despite the consequences that may occur in suit. Alrighty, I'll see you later, losers. Have a spiffy day. And eat lots of cheese. Salut! I think salut means goodbye as much as it means hello in français. Je voudrais parler le plus français. Je voudrais. Ok, ciao. Je t'adore.